James Harden was fined this week $100,000 for his recent comments about Daryl Morey. So my question to you guys is, do we think it was fair to fine him for speaking his mind?
And we were just talking about this.
Yeah.
I guess it's, you have a collective bargaining agreement, and there are certain things in there you can and can't do. And if you do them, it's up to the discretion of the league whether you can be fined. I guess based on what he said, you can fine him. It's a steep amount for that fine.
I think the max is 150. By the way,
no matter what the guys, because it's based on salary, I Bleav. It didn't used to be like that. It was flat across the board. Where I think Bleav now it's kind of salary based. Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of hard because we don't know the full context. If what James is saying is correct, he did lie to him, then you are, I guess you got to go through certain steps to voice your displeasure. And I guess you go through the union and you file a grievance or whatever you do with the league and say he wasn't honest. There's different steps in order to do that. So it all comes down to publicly saying things, where the league is now trying to get more control over what guys are saying critically against a team or demanding the trade publicly. So I think he can voice his opinion, but it's certain steps or certain ways you have to do that. So I don't think there was anything based on what he did to avoid a fine. I mean, I think the amount is probably, questionable. But there are ways to kind of handle this. It's just no other way to handle this, and all of us know.
If this helped him get traded like a month earlier than he would have gotten traded, do you think that's worth it for that $100K fine? He's like, hey,
for his sake, it's probably worth it. I mean,
yeah.
you don't have to go back to Philly. You don't have to do whatever, all this. So I think for his sake, he's out of his pocket, but he's also not having to rent a house or buy a new home, so it's, and knowing where you're going to go, like that matters. Guys like being, guys don't like being traded, but they really don't like being traded during the season.
And he gets $5 extra million if he's traded before game one. So there's that 100,000 will go towards a nice cause if he gets traded. If that helped him get traded before the season starts.
Yeah.
My question also is, they might have covered it in their statement. Maybe I didn't read it thoroughly enough. Is it for the liar comment, or is it for the I'll never play on a franchise that's run by Morey anymore?
I think it's all of them combined, if I Bleav. I Bleav it's the liar comment publicly. I'll never play on that team and everything publicly. So I think it's all of it collectively making those statements publicly.
Yeah. So all that combined is kind of like a passive, well, not really a passive, but a roundabout way of demanding a trade. Like, you lie for not trading me.
Yeah, I mean, it's all made public. So public admonishment of the team or anything negative towards the team publicly, and demanding a trade or not wanting to be at a place is basically saying is demanding a trade.
Yeah.
Doing that all publicly is what they supposedly now are trying to stop guys from doing.
The funny thing is, it's like
teams, because just like the collective bargaining agreement and everything else, it's hard to police. Teams can't police other teams, so they want the player to do it. Just like salary cap, you don't need a salary cap. It just teams decide how much they're gonna pay, and that's what you pay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you have some teams that's gonna be like, I'm not gonna spend that much, and then go out and spend more than that. So the agreement is really between teams.
Also, it's like, how true is that anyway? I'll never play for a Daryl Morey run. Okay, well, let's say the Sixers fire Daryl Morey. Are you going to come back? You can come to training camp now in the Philadelphia?
I mean, based on what he said, yes.
Yeah. yeah. I bet he's like, all right, well, it's cool. Let's play. Let's play for my money. I feel like I'm worth more than
what he said.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know if that would happen that smoothly, but
in regards to the liar comment, so this week we found out what the lie was. It stemmed from the Sixers saying they trade him quickly if he opted in, and not about a wink deal, which I think we some of us thought that's what it was that he was talking about. What do you guys think about
still
that?
Do. Yeah, I think it was all a part of the lie. I Bleav that you're trading quickly. If you opt in, we trade you. Getting him a deal. Yeah, I Bleav it. I mean, I Bleav that it's more than just a trade request. That's my Bleav. But you have to go by what James and what they all say. James 8, that's what they say. But if I was a betting man, I would bet that it's more than that.
Yeah, I still don't buy that. There's no way your 15 or whatever 10-year relationship with a guy is ruined because he lied about how fast he would trade you. I can't see how that's what makes you.
That's what I'm saying. So
never speak to one again.
Lie and I'll never play for him because he didn't trade me
fast enough, like
because he hasn't traded me to where I wanted to be traded. Yeah, it's more than that.
Yeah.
It's the only way it's not is like if they have a good enough relationship or had a good enough relationship to where Daryl's really talking to James and not really Daryl talking to the agent. If that's the case, and he says to James, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to send you home and allow you to play in your hometown. I'm going to get this done right away. No, yeah. I mean, if it happened like that, and then you telling the guy like that to his face and he's getting excited about it, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't like what they send us. Because it's not like the Clippers are like, we don't want James. It's the Sixers saying we don't like what y'all offering.
It's a little bit of both.
No, it's not.
It's also Clippers saying like, oh, we do want him, but
the Clippers made an offer. They're saying they want him. Now, if you don't like the offer, you can't say that they don't. They made an offer, right?
James did say a month ago there's a balance between giving a player what he wants and a team being compensated fairly for the good player, right? So, I mean, he understands that part of it. He understands that you –
Yeah, but we understand that, but we also understand if the numbers work, then it's an offer.
Value-wise, though.
If the numbers work, is it or is it not an offer?
It's an offer.
It's a valid salary cap permitted offer. Sure.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So that means it's able to work. So
salary-wise.
Yes, salary-wise.
Salary-wise.
So, like I've said before, if you have a salary worked deal, and if you want to do what's best for the player, you make it work.
But there's a balance.
But you aren't doing what's best for the player. You're doing what's best for the team.
I still think there's a balance there, though, right?
So if you value the player, then pay the player. And we don't have this conversation.
We're going to do this again.
Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Because right now, the Sixers value him more than everyone else. No one wants to pay him anything.
No, the Sixers don't value him.
They do, though. They're giving him 35 right now, 36. No one else is going to give him that.
35. Yeah. How do you know?
Because he opted in. That's how I know.
Because they get traded. That's why he opted in. That's what he said.
Because no one decent.
That's what he said. That's what he said, right?
You can afford him. The Magic.
Is that what he said, though, right?
Yep.
He said he opted in to get traded, right?
Yeah, and they're working on it.
And he said Daryl Morey lied about that.
Quickly. The quickly part.
Did he lie about that? That's what he said, right?
Yeah.
We'll trade you. Well, yeah, being traded quickly was the word.
So then that's why he opted in. I'm just asking. You saying he opted in. I'm just telling you why he opted in based on what he said. So
yeah, you're not in AFLW 76er. Yeah, for sure.
So we're not going to Bleav James.
I mean, I could bring up 30 examples of why we shouldn't, but yeah, I mean,
the same thing we could bring up about not believing Morey.
That's true, but I would have an easier time swallowing all of this if James wasn't on the record a month ago saying he totally understands both sides of this pull and tug of a player being granted.
All guys understand both sides.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's easy to say that in an interview, but when you have a month later,
they all understand both sides, and the team does too. But that does not stop them from moving the guy. That does not stop them from going in and saying, "Hey, a guy has no leverage. We're going to offer him less than we know he's worth."
Like I said last week, I think a lot of this could have maybe been avoided if someone just placed a friggin' phone call to either his people or him, and we're like, "Don't freak out. You're gonna see a report that says we're pulling him off the trade block and he's coming to training camp. Don't believe that. We're still trying to trade you. We're getting screwed in contract in trade negotiations."
Yeah, he ain't trying to hear that. That's the part that, like what you just said, we're getting screwed. That's the part that I'm trying to say. You value him more in the trade than you do in a contract.
Yeah.
Okay, so a player isn't trying to hear that.
Yeah,
but he understands that.
Yes, he understands it.
He just doesn't care.
Just like the team understands it, and they don't care.
Works both ways.
Yes, that's all I'm saying.
But the quicker that I could just say the quick. If I was Morey, I'd be like, okay, the quicker the Clippers value you more.
I'm not questioning. I'm not saying Morey's wrong.
No. I know.
I'm saying that he's aware.
If I was Morey, I'd be like, well, dude,
yeah,
the quicker the Clippers value you, tell the Clippers to offer more.
Morey is aware of what he's doing. He's aware of what's happening.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. They're aware. They know. They gonna do what's best for them. James is trying to do the same. Right now, he has a contract, and they're saying right now you got to show up.
I'm not a player, but
he may very well do that, but that doesn't mean the relationship is going to be good.
If I'm empathizing for the player in this regard, I find it weird. Maybe he is. Maybe he obviously wouldn't say this, but I would be a little pissed off at the Clippers too, though. I'd call my agent and be like, dude, what's holding this up? Why? What are they offering them right now? What are they offering? Oh, Marcus Morris, Covington, and Batum. Like, what? That's not going to get it done for me, dude. What are they doing? Do they want me or not? That's what I mean. Like, personally, if I wanted to go to the other team, I'd be like, dude, what do they want and what are they offering? Like, let's get this done. Do they want me? If they want me, they'll give up Terrence Mann or a first-round pick. I mean, that's it, right? Yeah. But, like, because then that means that team doesn't want you that bad. All this stuff about the Clippers want him. Like, really? Well, I mean, show us. I really do hope we get a deal done with the Clippers because I want to see what the actual trade is in the end, at the end of the day. I want to see what they actually agree to do this.